Welcome to episode 23 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull Car Shirts, and today I'm going to take a look at the 1994-1995 away shirt. Now, this is one of, in fact it now might be the only shirt that I have in my collection as a match worn that I don't have a replica version of. So that's quite strange. Normally you would find that somebody might have been able to locate a replica but not a match worn. Well, in this scenario, I've been able to find a match worn but not a replica. Now looking at the shirt, you can already see that it's carrying lots and lots of game damage. Big rip here. The placket no longer seals, and it's even ripped down a little bit there as well. But we'll talk about the shirt first before I go into the detailing of the damage. So it's a very quirky design. I often think with an away shirt, or more likely to be a third shirt, you can be a little bit more quirky. You can do something that wouldn't necessarily be your traditional colours. And you could kind of argue that the flame design that features kind of on the chest, which is also coupled with a blue V and also some blue lines across the bottom there. So it's got quite a lot going on in terms of design. You could maybe say there's sort of three different sort of features to that design, opposed to it just being one main design. It's got quite a lot going on. The colourway is obviously, it's a white shirt naturally, but then it's got kind of a two-tone blue. So you've got more of a navy blue and then like a light baby blue, which I think against the white really complements each other. The shirt was made by Quantum Sports, and we was with those for 94-95. And also we wore the same shirts again in 95-96. Now, I've not found any evidence anywhere that we wore this shirt again in 95-96. Now, with the home shirt, we had the John Smith sponsor on the front, as you can see with this. But then we switched that to the Hull Brewery for 95-96. I'll pop an image up of the home shirt with the Hull Brewery sponsor on, just so you can see what I mean. So if anybody's got any information or any evidence that this shirt was worn during 95-96 with a Hull Brewery sponsor on, I would be very interested to see that, because it's something that has eluded me so far. So yeah, John Smith's big sponsor, stands out a lot. The colours of the John Smith logo, which is yellow, green and red, are very different colours. You'd find them in different families to the colours that we've got actually on the main design of the shirt. So it does stand out quite well. As a fan and as a shirt lover, I'm not too keen on having a sponsor on there that stands out like a sore thumb like this one does. However, from a sponsor's perspective and from a business perspective, they'll be absolutely over the moon that their logo stands out quite dramatically on the front of the shirt. So let's talk a little bit about the damage. We've got quite a lot going on here. So the placket is completely torn. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos that there's a little bit of stitching down here. And this is what we call the reinforced stitching, which a match shirt would traditionally have that a replica wouldn't. Now, this stitching here has probably saved this shirt from ripping down even further than it already has. So I suppose it's done its intended job. The club badge appears in an inverted form. We've seen this quite a lot recently. The 2020 shirt, both home and away, both had different badges on them. And also we've seen it back in sort of 2017 where we had a different crest as well. And obviously back in the 90s, we've kind of gone with an inverted look as well. So I'll pop some images up just so you can see some of the different crests that we've used in recent times. So this shirt has a collar. Not too common nowadays on the modern rugby shirt. We are sort of more accustomed to now not seeing that. It does provide really good grip for an opposition to get hold of this, the additional fabric. Even if it's stitched down, because it's thicker, it just gives something to hold on to. So I don't think we'll see too many playing shirts with collars on in rugby league in the near future. We'll spin it round to the side. So on the side here we have the Quantum Sport logo at the bottom, and just above that we have the Rugby Football League badges, and that was on all shirts during this time period. It's a really nice badge. It's something that I quite like when I get a new shirt and it's got this logo on. I'm really pleased to see it. So let's swing it round to the back so you can get a nice good view of this one. So This one was worn by the number 5, so that would have been one of the starting wingers. Now, I've done a little bit of research, and in every single game during 94-95, away from home, when we'll have worn this shirt, it was worn every single time, apart from 2, by David Plange. So David Plange played for Rovers for 2 seasons, for 94-95, and he also played for us in 95-96 as well. And he made 55 appearances for the Robins and scored 64 tries in those 55 appearances, which that's, you know, yes, okay, we were playing in the 2nd division at that point, but it was such a very, very good try scoring record. You know, he averaged more than 1 try per game, which definitely deserves to be recognised. So another difference in this shirt from the replica, which I've seen from images, is that this shirt has got the blockout patch on the back. So this basically means the design stops, and from here you see what looks like a white box, and that's to provide us with a clear patch so that when the number is applied to the back of the shirt, it will be visible rather than it being on the back of a print or on a design. You know, we've seen this a lot recently. The 2020 home shirt, for example, the band wasn't on the back on the match worn, but it was on the replica. I'll put some pictures up of that just so you can kind of see. And I know that I've shared this photo before, but I'm going to share it again. So there's a picture of the 2003 away shirt as well, because that one for me really does tell you why these blocked out patches appear on the back of a shirt, or we just then don't go with a band on the back, because in that 2003 shirt, in my opinion, it looks horrendous. We see the name Rovers across the back there, something that I really like, having that little bit of detailing on. More when it was probably more about the shirt than a player necessarily. Obviously, in modern day times, in both football and in rugby, you see now you've got a player's name on the back of a shirt, opposed to them just wearing a squad number. So I suppose that is just the sign of the times with that one there. So we'll fling this back round. The material that was used to make the 94-95 shirts, I didn't actually know this until I picked up a replica of the home shirt, but the material is different. This is a much thicker cotton, and the replicas are they're a little bit sleeker. You know, they're sort of a bit more slippery. Probably got more polyester in it than cotton, which I didn't actually know, like I say, until I picked up a replica home shirt a couple of weeks ago. So I wonder if it's the same with this shirt. Because of the band on the home shirt not going all the way around the back, and because of the away shirt having the block backs, there is a difference there between a match worn and a replica. But I just thought it was kind of the looks of it and how it was. But it turns out the material that's used was actually different as well. So that is very, very interesting, especially for this time frame. You know, a lot of the time I assumed it was just that they had the reinforced stitching, and that the block out on the back for the numbers was different. But to see that it was made from a different fabric as well, I found that quite interesting. So I wouldn't have this shirt in my collection if it wasn't for a friend of mine who lives in Australia, who I've got to know through social media, and that's the Jersey Spotter over on Twitter. He spotted this shirt in Australia, sent me a message, Mike, I found this, do you need it? Yes, I do. I do. I was very, very firm with that one. So he picked that up for me in Australia, and then he posted it across. So thank you very much for that. And it's nice to be able to say that I've been able to return the favour as well and send over a couple of shirts from England over to Australia. So we've got an international partnership going on, aiding each other's collections. So that's everything for episode 23. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'll be back in a couple of weeks' time with episode 24, where once again I'll keep the theme of 90s going. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.